Why do we take things so personally? Why do we defend ourselves even when no one's attacking us? And why do we sometimes confuse who we are with what we do, or how others see us? The truth is, we all wear masks. We all have an image we try to protect, our sense of identity, our ego. And that ego, while it helps us survive, also keeps us from truly being free. Today, we're diving into Carl Jung's idea of the ego, how it shapes the way we see ourselves, and how it shows up through the 12 zodiac signs. Because whether you're fiery like an Aries or sensitive like a Pisces, your ego has its own unique flavor, its own story. Jung believed that the ego is not the enemy. It's simply the center of your consciousness. It's the part of you that says, I am. It's your identity, your habits, beliefs, and the roles you play. But the ego isn't the whole of who you are. Jung said beyond the ego lies the self, the wiser, deeper part of you that's connected to everything and everyone. And the journey of life? It's really about learning when to let your ego lead and when to let it step aside. So in this video, let's look at how each group of zodiac signs, the fiery reds, sunshine yellows, earth greens, and cool blues, express their ego energy, and what happens when they learn to grow beyond it. Part 1. Fiery reds. The fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Bold, direct, passionate. The ego of the achiever and the conqueror. For the fire signs, the ego is driven by the need to be seen, to make a mark on the world. Their I am comes from action, courage, and recognition. Aries says, I am because I begin. Their ego thrives on independence but struggles when they feel ignored or controlled. The challenge? Learning that leadership doesn't always mean going first. Sometimes it means listening first. Leo says, I am because I shine. Their ego is tied to how loved or admired they feel. But Jung would say the danger lies in confusing attention for acceptance. When Leo learns self-love without validation, they step closer to their higher self. Sagittarius says, I am because I seek. Their ego thrives on freedom and truth, yet they sometimes become trapped in their own rightness. The real freedom comes when they admit they don't have all the answers. Relatable example. Ever seen someone storm out of a group chat because their opinion wasn't agreed with? That's fire energy, ego needing to be acknowledged. But once they calm down, they usually come back wiser, softer. That's the soul humbling the ego. Part 2. Sunshine yellows. The air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Playful, curious, and social. The ego of the communicator and thinker. For the air signs, the ego lives in the mind. Their sense of identity comes from ideas, connections, and understanding. Gemini says, I am because I think and speak. Their ego shines in conversations but struggles when forced to feel deeply. Their lesson? Learning that silence doesn't mean emptiness. Libra says, I am because I relate. Their ego is built around balance and approval, but often they forget what they want. Jung would say they must integrate their shadow, learning to choose themselves, even if it disappoints others. Aquarius says, I am because I'm different. Their ego prides itself on being unique or rebellious. But sometimes that rebellion is just fear of being ordinary. When they realize that true individuality doesn't need validation, their genius truly shines. Relatable example. Think of someone who can debate for hours but freezes when asked, what do you feel? That's the air sign's ego in action, always thinking, rarely feeling. Part 3. Earth greens. The earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Grounded, stable, and practical. The ego of the builder and protector. Earth signs express the ego through control and consistency. They find security in what they can see, touch, and measure. Taurus says, I am because I have. Their ego ties to possessions, comfort, and stability. Jung would say their growth comes when they realize safety isn't always material. It can be emotional, too. Virgo says, I am because I improve. Their ego thrives on being useful, but when they constantly fix others, they avoid fixing themselves. Jung would call this projection, when we see in others what we're unwilling to face in ourselves. Capricorn says, I am because I achieve. Their ego is rooted in success and status. But when the mountain is climbed, they often feel empty, realizing they've been chasing identity, not purpose. Relatable example. You know that friend who can't relax until everything's perfect? Even their rest is scheduled? That's the Earth ego, afraid that slowing down means losing control. Part 4. Cool Blues. The water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Emotional, intuitive, and deep. The ego of the healer and dreamer. For water signs, the ego lives in emotion. Their identity is shaped by how deeply they feel and connect. Cancer says, I am because I care. Their ego is tied to nurturing others. But when their love isn't returned, it can turn into guilt or resentment. Jung might call this over-identification with the mother archetype. The lesson, care without losing yourself. Scorpio says, I am because I transform. Their ego is tied to power, emotional or otherwise. But when they learn that vulnerability is the highest form of power, they stop fighting shadows and start healing them. Pisces says, I am because I feel everything. Their ego dissolves in emotion and empathy. They sometimes forget where they end and others begin. Jung would say their task is to anchor the spirit in reality, to be in the world but not lost to it. Relatable example. Ever been in love so deeply that you lose yourself completely? That's Pisces' ego, love as surrender, but also as escape. So, what does all this mean? Jung's idea of the ego wasn't about ego being bad, it was about balance. We need our ego to function, to make choices, to dream, to love. But when we start to believe that the ego is all we are, we lose touch with the deeper self, the part that's connected to the universe, to the divine, to everything beyond me. Each zodiac sign teaches us something about that balance. The fire signs remind us to lead with passion, but not pride. The air signs remind us to think, but also to feel. The earth signs remind us to build, but not become trapped by what we build. And the water signs remind us to love, but not drown in it. In the end, Jung would say, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And maybe astrology is just another map showing us how to get there. If this video spoke to you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves both psychology and the stars. And if you'd like to go even deeper, grab your copy of the Happiness Manual, available now on Patreon. Link in the bio. Because when we understand the ego, we start to free the soul.